Hey everybody, welcome back to Eidolon Playlist, the show where we talk about the bands that inspire the names of the Eidolons on Eidolon Playtest. And today this is a very, very special one for me personally, because we are talking about the band that inspired Dog's Eidolon, and a band that I grew up with and are kind of not super well known. They're not like unbelievably obscure, but like they're more of a local band than a national band, even if they've kind of charted a bit before. We're talking about the Urge, who are very, very indelibly linked to the city of St. Louis. But before I get further into that, I'm Mike. Joining me is Iris.
Hello.
And Crystal.
Get ready for the human race.
We'll get to that. We'll get to that. So yeah, there are a few things at play here. For one, this is partially me following up on, I don't know if I want to call it a promise, a threat, or just an implication. But Iris, if you remember during the Splashdown episode,
yeah,
you talked about that you first found out about Splashdown from the Titan AE soundtrack. And I, at the time, said, you know what? If I play my cards right, we'll get 2 tracks from that soundtrack on Eidolon Playlist. And
you
today,
sure did.
Yep. And today is the day that we bring that home. We follow up on it.
It's so funny that's how it intersects.
So again, like I said up top, this is a band that is very much associated with the city of St. Louis. The band first formed in a high school here. They've been huge here. They've been headlining a lot of, like, every time the local alternative rock station, basically from the early 90s on, KPNT The Point, hosts some sort of rock festival. The Urge regularly were headlining it over the years. They're just big deals here. I mentioned during the disco postmortem that the front man, Steve Ewing, formed basically he did that sort of local celebrity thing and started a restaurant, Steve's Hot Dogs, which was the inspiration for Bob's food truck being a hot dog food truck.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. In fairness, Zoe actually initially pitched a food truck to be what Charlie and Bob eventually wound up doing, but I specifically brought in the hot dogs as an homage to this band. Which was also what I wound up giving Dog's Eidolon, because Luke approached me. He's like, "Hey, I want to give Dog an Eidolon because I want him to show up in ska, and I want you to pick what it is, but I want it to be a ska song." And immediately I just went, jump right in. Obviously, number one with a bullet. And but also kind of tying back to them being sort of local heroes. They Iris, you might also remember when we talked about OK Go, they wrote a theme song for the Chicago soccer team out there.
Yes. I remember that being a point of contention as to what its origin was and what its name was. Yeah.
Well, the Urge wrote the goal music for the St. Louis Blues hockey team. So that plays whenever the Blues score a goal. And kind of another thing I want to tie back around to before we get to the playlist proper. This is a lot of calling back to prior playlist episodes. We're bringing a lot of stuff home this week. Crystal, I remember during Bonium you talked a lot about how they were a band that was like, it wasn't that the studio recordings were bad, but they were a band that really shined when they were live. That is very much the case for the Urge. I like all their songs in the studio / radio recordings. Like, it's all very good, but seeing them in person is an experience, and it was very formative for me, which is part of why I really wanted to talk about them. And that's something I do want to emphasize as we go on, is that something that's going to come up is a lot of the things with songs are going to be things that really work well in crowds. Like, there's a lot of moments where, like, about halfway through the song, the lead singer will just straight up, like, tell the rest of the band to, like, lower the volume for a bit, and they'll build it back up. And it seems like they go back to that well a lot, but the reason they do that is it fucking kills at a concert, you know?
They're doing table talk at the concert?